Hi and welcome to our short instructional video on how to access Teams using either an Xbox or a PlayStation, particularly an Xbox One or a PS4. Now, there are newer versions of both of these consoles, and these instructions will still be applicable to those newer versions, should you have been lucky enough to get your hands on one. Our students at Newcastle College are already adept in the use of Teams, particularly if they've been with us since March. But all students have been using Teams since September as a matter of course, regardless of whether their learning has been online and remote, face-to-face, or a mixture. This instructional guide is for both students and parents to support learning continuing at home, especially when we find ourselves, in some cases, sharing devices within a family or setting. Perhaps using a console isn't something you've thought about before and would feel more comfortable doing so. It may make being able to work independently or in a quiet space such as a bedroom easier. It may be that the console is in fact the only device in your household. Regardless of the circumstance, we're here to offer as many suggestions, alternatives and support as is possible to ensure learning continues beyond college grounds. All you need is either an Xbox One or PS4 console. Like I say, there are new versions of both and the same instructions will apply, and you'll probably find work a lot quicker than the previous versions. As standard with each console, you're provided with a game controller, and this can be used to access Teams and take a full and active part in the learning that's on offer. Most users of the Xbox and PlayStations will have a headset with a built-in mic in order to talk to their friends while online gaming. And whilst it can be advantageous in order to join live teaching and be able to respond with their voice, it's not necessarily essential because there is still the chat facility where you can type any responses, queries or questions throughout a session. Additionally, but again I need to stress not essential, if you happen to have a USB keyboard to access, then that can be used as well. And it just makes the functionality of typing at work a little more user-friendly. That being said, users of both consoles are usually quite adept at using the controller keyboard that shows up on the screen, so please don't feel that this is a necessity. What you won't get with either is a webcam feature, which means that although you'll be able to see your teacher when they're sharing their webcam as well as any content they're sharing on the screen, you'll not be able to use that function yourself. So what we're looking at here is the home screen of the Xbox One, but the sentiment and instructions remain the same regardless of which console it is you're using. I dare say most users will be more than proficient in locating Teams, but it's always worth a quick guide for students and for parents or carers to be able to support our learners in getting logged on. So using the home button on the controller will take you to the main menu where you can go into your App Store, search all of your apps, and you'll find Microsoft Edge, which is already there and ready for you to use. So when you click on Microsoft Edge, it opens a browser, a standard browser. Students have access to Office 365, so they should search for that in the search bar, where they have a full Microsoft package with Word and PowerPoint. Go to log in, sign in, and it'll ask if you want to search for the app in the App Store, which is not needed, so just click no. Next up, it's time to log in. So using your college email and password, you can submit your login details here. Just a reminder that the format of your email will start with an S, then have your student number, followed by the @ students.ncl-col.ac.uk. If you have set up an authentication checker, you might find when logging in to a new device that it'll want to check it's definitely you and it'll send a text message with the code, which you just pop in here. If it does, that's nothing to worry about. Just check your phone for that message. If it doesn't ask this, then it'll just take you straight to the Office 365, as we'll see in a moment. Once we're here in the Office 365 homepage, you'll be able to see any documents you've been working on. You've got some icons there down the left-hand side for Word and PowerPoint, OneDrive, etc. But if you go towards the little series of squares in the top left-hand corner and click on that, you'll see a range of app options. You're going to click onto the Teams app. This is what we're looking for here, and it will begin to open the Teams application. So here we have it uploading the Teams application, and once it loads, you'll be able to see all the teams that you're part of. You might just have one, you might have a couple, you might have a few, which is absolutely fine. And just to show you all the features in your Teams are the same as on a laptop or mobile device. So top left, you've got the activity icon, which we'll just scroll to in a moment. There we go. Next one down is the chat facility. Next one down is the Teams homepage. Next one down is calls. Now, you will be asked if you want to turn on notifications. I would recommend that you do so that you don't miss any important messages that your tutors might be sending you. So what we're going to take a look at now is how to join a call that you might have in a particular team. So for example, a live session. So I'm going to go down to this team here where there is a call already taking place. And as you can see, it tells me that there is a meeting and that I can join it. So if I click on the join link here, it'll ask if I want to give access to my microphone, which I can do if I have a headset and a mic. And then again, I just click join in order to access that session or meeting. Once I'm in my meeting, we have this little taskbar here while I'm on a call where I can mute or unmute my mic. Just a little further along, I've got the hands up feature, which our tutors might use. See the little hand icon there? And the next one along, I have the chat facility, which might be a preference to use anyway, but certainly if you don't have your microphone, then that's going to be a means of communication. Even if you don't have a keyboard, it's going to bring up an online keyboard for you to be able to use with your controller, so you can still type messages, ask questions, contribute to your sessions as normal. Now, everything that you're seeing here is exactly the same as what someone experiences on a laptop because you're using a browser. There might be slight different formats with phones or tablets, but with the exception of the webcam feature, you've got all of the same functionalities accessing Teams via this method. As you can see, your teachers are still able to share their screens, you're still able to access the learning and take a full and active part, even using your games console. Just taking a look at the view of a team itself, you'll be able to still see along the top bar you have the same menus as you're probably used to already, such as posts, files, class notebooks. If you press on more, you'll be able to see any assignments that have been set by pressing the assignments tab. Any work that you've done and saved into Office 365 can be uploaded into the assignments tab as well, or you'll be given an option to create a new document. It might be that you've already been used to Ask Class Notebook, which is also accessible from the top bar. But if you take a look in the Files section, you can navigate quite easily around the files and materials that have been uploaded here as well. We hope that this has been informative. Please feel free to share to support others who might be finding accessibility an issue or may have heard that you can use your console but not quite sure how it works in practice. Thank you for watching our instructional on using and accessing Microsoft Teams from your console.